let's go ahead and get this party started. Welcome back to Gilded Gaming and Final Fantasy 14. Gonna have some fun tonight. Hopefully. Alright, so when we last left off, we were doing main story quests. We are in... Hey, bless you! Welcome back! We're in, what's the name of this place? Alamigo. Little Alamigo. Right, we gotta go deliver tea. Very super important quest, delivering tea. How you doing tonight? Bless you. Doing good, I hope. Wait, what? No! There's an invisible wall! Unacceptable. Unacceptable! Let me come over here. Hey, Midas, how's it going? Who the hells are you? I'm trying to conserve energy here, so leave me alone. But I got some sweet Fanlon tea for you. Well, ain't you considerate? My thanks, friend. What's that, a masked villain hiding among the refugees like as not? Me compatriots as live here as go about as they're dead on their feet. It's near impossible to tell what's on their minds. For all I know, they're all up to no good. If you're hanging out sweet tea, you gotta have a southern accent. Made the mistake of queuing for the Alliance Raid Roulette with your newly leveled 70 Black Mage friend. Why is that a mistake? Because it's a raid? Do the whole stream with an accent. That's the goal. Go, you there. Are you an Amalja? No, then carry on. All you had to say. Oh, this sophisticated aroma. It has been forever since I got a drop of sweet thin land. I'm going to enjoy this. What? A masked man? Don't know, don't care. Unless he's got dark scaleless skin, stands 10 fulms tall, and has a face of a lizard, and I don't give a mummer's fart. Well, that's all he has to say. The Black Mage is very difficult to play if you don't know the boss mechanics. I bet. Because every time you move, you stop casting. Yeah, that could be a pain. That's one of the reasons I switched. Sure, don't bother me. If they won't overrun us, then I'm blaming you. For me, you shouldn't have. Sorry, a suspicious masked man. As a matter of fact, I caught a glimpse of someone fitting that description during patrol. Well, I couldn't quite make out whether it was a man or not with the mask and the robe. Assuming it was a he. He was talking with some Alamegans. Assumed he was one of them. Well, that's something at least. A couple of new abilities to learn on the fly. Yeah, boy. Oh, dang it. Hitting the, I guess that's the map, maybe? No, that's the draw your weapon, yeah. The draw your weapon button drops you off the mount. I want to draw my weapon and charge with the mount, come on. It's 2020, where's my mounted charge button? Guess I'm back. Ah, you're back! So did my lookouts have aught to say with you? That doesn't sound like much to go by. You're gonna get any further with your investigation, it seems you'll need to cooperate with the Alamegans. For this, you'll need to win their trust, and that won't be an easy task. Yep. Money. Got it. So you're determined to press on with your investigation. Well, then I have some advice to offer. You can't do it. As I said before, you won't get far without the Alamegans' trust. So the best way to win that trust is to get a compatriot of theirs, someone they respect to vouch for you. Coin does the talking in Ul'dah, but the Alamegans are bound by something far stronger. Not as tangible, a common purpose. That purpose, of course, is liberation for their home from the Guardians. Gundabald belongs to the Alamegan Resistance, so your best bet would be someone who's part of the same crew. If you know any well-connected people, you might want to start by asking them. I do know some well-connected people. Like Menphilia. Oh, who wants to go back to Menphilia? Damn it. Alright. Bump, bump, ba-dum. Bump, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, we got a new quest. From none other than Nedrick Ironheart. What's up, Nedrick? Tantalizing bit of information to share. Hail, adventurer. You wear the expression of one who seeks new battlegrounds to hone your burgeoning skills. Do not ask how Nedrick knows, he simply knows. Now tell me, are you perchance familiar with the sunken temple of Kharn? I will not hold it against you if you're not. The ruins only surfaced when the calamities split the ground asunder, after all. Any road, it's a popular destination these days for adventurers looking for new frontiers to explore. If you're keen to join them, why not make the journey to southern Thanalan and visit the temple for yourself? What with the many dangers that lurk within, immortal flames are keeping close watch over the place. But a Lalafell by the name of Bibimu should be able to offer you passage. Yeah, I remember the first time I did a raid in Final Fantasy XIV, I had to go into the graphic settings and turn down all the effects because it was like a rave or something. Like, I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. There was just lights and colors flying all over the damn place. Minfidia. Welcome back, Helheim. How fares the investigation? I see. Given all that they have suffered, it is little wonder the Alamegan refugees have lost faith in their fellow men. They have had their homeland taken from them, and for the past 2 decades they've had to see it remain in enemy clutches. To compound matters, none of the 3 city-states have the means to take in all those who are displaced. As a result, a great many Alamegans now live in the margins of society, suffering poverty and discrimination. Would that more could be done to ease their hardship. I fear that nothing short of reclaiming their homeland would be a lasting solution. But let us deal with one problem at a time. Returning to the matter of your investigation, it just so happens that there is an Alamegan native among the Scions. I should be pleased to introduce him to you. Your Alamegan comrade is named Haribert. He joined our cause in the hopes that he might find a way to liberate his homeland. While he spares no effort towards that endeavor, I have no doubt that he would be glad to assist you. If I recall correctly, he's currently between missions. Try looking for him in the storage area. And with that, we gotta go back to Little Alamigo. Like, go all the way to the Waking Sands, have a talk, go all the way back. That's how it goes. Yep. When she said look for him in the storage area, did she mean the storage area at the Waking Sands? Damn it. I should go back there again. Oops. I thought she meant back in Little Alamigo. Oh well. Yeah, she meant back over there. Okay. Fair enough. I'm definitely getting enough experience doing the main scenario quest that I feel like I could level 2 different jobs at the same time. I am so far ahead of it. Like, the main scenario quest right now is at level 26 and I'm 32. And I got all these like dungeons to do and shit. I know my earrings are playing a part in that, but I wonder if I should level up another job too. Welcome to the sunken temple of Karn, or what remains of it at least. Used by ancient Beladians as a place of worship to the sun goddess Azima. Much about the temple's history remains shrouded in mystery. While we have sent a research team into the depths, I regret to say that the investigation proceeds at a snail's pace, that is, when it proceeds at all. It would seem that the Beladians have rigged the temple and with all manner of devious traps and snares to deter temple robbers, no doubt. We have recruited adventurers to assist in disarming the traps. But be forewarned, many who entered have yet to return. Should you wish to brave the depths, we would welcome your aid. Alright. We got the Sunken Temple. The Halatali Sunken Temple and somewhat soon that Haunted Mansion place. Something Manor with an H. I don't remember. So we have lots of dungeons to do tonight. Yeah, that's the one. Starting Eddie Murphy. Got a little ways to go before we do that. I am like sort of over leveled at this point though. I'm like wondering like maybe I should level a paladin and a warrior, you know, just like get all the tank classes going. If it isn't Elheim Gilded, the Scion's rising star, is there aught I can do for you? You wish to win the trust of the people of Little Alamigo? That is a daunting task, my friend, even for our own countrymen. I would like nothing more than to help, but I'm afraid my name no longer carries weight with that lot. I used to be a member of the Alamigan Resistance, you see, but left in favor of joining the Scions. Though my allegiance may have shifted, my purpose remains ever the same, the liberation of Alamigo. Yet, whatever my reasons were, I abandoned my comrades and they'll have nothing to do with me. Now, while I may have no more friends in the Resistance, I know someone who does. Her name is Albreda. She is a resident of Quarry Mill. Say my name if you meet her and she won't lead you astray. Now we go to Quarry Mill. All right. You want me to introduce you to the Resistance? Why the hells would I do that? Just give me one reason. Hurrybert sent you. That worthless whoreson. He abandons his comrades, his woman, and now he has the gall to ask me for a favor? Simply incredible. I mean, I realized Herbert was only doing what he felt was right. He's a good man. If he trusts you, then that's all I need to know. You see that bloke there? That's Meffred, captain of the Resistance. I hope he can give you what you need. Level 33. I'm Meffred, a proud man of the Alamigan Resistance. What business do you have with me, adventurer? Captain, it's Galleon, sir. His wounds have gone and festered and he's burning up. I don't think he's got much time. God damn it, I asked the villager for aid, but I got on my knees and begged, but they refused to lift a finger. If Galleon dies, his blood is on their hands. These Quarry Mill cravens would turn a blind eye to our plight, but they might listen to Albreda. I fear my anger will prevent me from rightly convincing anyone at the moment. I realize that we scarce know each other, but this is a matter of life and death. Please, adventurer, go to her and try. Alright. I can do that. I mean, you realize that she's so close. She probably heard you ask me that, right? Like she's literally right there. You could raise your voice and ask her yourself. Like you see, right. I'm pointing. I'm only point. Like right over there, right? That's that. Okay. I'll do the quest. I'm just saying. One of Mefred's is in bad shape, you say. I'm sorry, but there's naught I can do. I want to help, truly I do. They're my countrymen after all, but that'd mean going against the elemental's will. I've been at Quarry Mill long enough to know how right terrible the beings can be. I couldn't forgive myself if everyone gets banished because of me. If there's anyone who can help you, it'd be Charlene, the hamlet's resident hearer. If you take the matter up to her, maybe she'll be listened, though I wouldn't get my hopes up. Okay, I'll take it up with her. Once again, you guys can all see each other. I'm just putting that out. You wish to aid the Alamegans. You are possessed of a kind heart, adventurer, but I'm afraid I have no authority to grant your wish. This authority belongs only to the elementals, eternal guardians of the Twelveswood. All outsiders, be they babes at the breast of their or grown men, or men grown, are judged of a night whether they may have a place beneath the boughs. Alas, the Alamegans' petition has been denied. Harsh though it may seem, they do not have leave to receive the wood's bounty. Ever has it been since time immemorial, and ever shall it be. Alright, well, I'm just gonna go over here and talk to this guy again. That's how it be then. The bloody hero might as well kill Galleon herself. Spit on the elementals and spit on their bloody will. I cannot wait until the resistance is free of this place. Killing him softly. Alright, there's the new gloves. I led my men to Quarry Mill hoping to find refuge, and instead we found indifference. The cold-blooded bastards here want us out, and I can't oblige them soon enough. The problem is, some of mine aren't fit to travel. Hell's Galleon can't even stand. As you well know, the people of this accursed hamlet won't help us, so I have no choice but to turn to you, adventurer. In my homeland, long antelope horn is a traditional remedy for poison purging properties. If you could bring me, say, 4 horns, I'd be forever in your debt. Alright. Antelope stags, you say. It just so happens to have them here in Quarry Mill. Convenient. The only downside of streaming in MMO is that I can't listen to music like I normally do when I play in MMO. Because it's copyrighted. Alright. Ah, you're back. Tell me you've got four horns with you. Indeed. You're a godsend adventurer. Praise Ralger, at least one woman in this place who gives a damn. Now we just need to find a place to repair them. You wouldn't happen to know a man named Buscaron, would you? Some comrades of mine told me about him once. That he never turns away folk in need, no matter where they're from. Seeing as he runs a tavern, he's like to have tools to make medicine. I'd be grateful if you could take the horns over to him and have him ground down. And when that's done, bring the powder back and give it to Farmand here. Godspeed. And he's just across the way. I feel like you get more abilities in Final Fantasy than you do in World of Warcraft as far as like filling your ability bar. Like right now it's not that bad, but like later on we're gonna have like a crap ton of abilities. I gotta figure out what I actually want to put on my bars. Oh, Helheim, ever a sight for sore eyes. How fares the adventuring? Rolling in the coin like there's no tomorrow, no doubt. You got something to show me? Oh, looks like the good old antelope horns. Need them ground down to a medicine, you say? Here's a better idea. I'll give you some of the stuff I have in my stores. I am no stranger to the remedy. An Alamegan friend once used to treat my festering wound years and years ago. Safe to say he saved my life. What's that? This is for an Alamegan soldier in Quarry Mill? So it comes full circle. Well, I hope it helps the poor sod as needs it. Oh, and don't worry your little head off about payment. I still owe you a great deal more than you owe me, I reckon. Oh. When you had played Black Mage, you had no empty slots in your controller for abilities. But as a machinist, you have like 10 unused slots. Interesting. How hard is all the targeting with the controller? You just use the D-pad to target stuff? Is that right? Super easy with the controller. Hey, Caranova. Maybe I should try with the controller. It's well to see you returned. Have you the medicine for our brother? God bless you, adventure. I'll see the Galleon receives treatment at once. Hopefully this will allow the captain to rest easier. It's been a terrible burden on him trying to keep every man alive. You've done us a great kindness, friend. Adventure. Galleon's gone missing. He's nowhere to be found. Shouldn't be walking about, not with those wounds. If he doesn't get the proper medicine and rest, his condition's likely to deteriorate to where it was before or worse. We need you to help us find him, and quickly. Start by asking Alberta. Might be his woman seen something. Once again. She's right freaking. Okay. No one can talk to each other in this game. And you walk 5 seconds over that way? It's not even 5, like 2 seconds. Finally, it's about time you came to ask about Galleon. I watched him leave Quarry Mill some time ago. He left me this sealed letter before he went. Made me swear not to open it until someone came asking. My brothers, I cannot bear to be a burden any longer. This is why I must leave you all. Do not worry for me. Just find your way safely to little amigo. Blast it. I wish I'd known what he was thinking. I'd have stopped this folly myself. The love Galleon bears for his brothers is so strong he's willing to sacrifice himself for them. Make no mistake, entering the woods in his weakened state is suicide. Okay, let's go back over here and tell this guy. Out in the wilds alone? That fool! He's a great big sentimental fool. My men and I will scour the woods for Galleon. Please help us find him before something terrible happens. Yep. Alright, where'd he get off to? Over here? And we're off! D-pad to change targets, R2 and R1 to target what's in front of you. Well, I found him. That was easy. Watch out, a goblin. Goblin. You're silly. Sky pirate. Oh! Hey, how's it going? Thought you were a character for a second. Any second now. Alien. Captain, but why? You should be on your way. Who do you take us for? We're all Amegans, and all Amegans never forsake one another. Hardships be damned. Remember the oath we swore, gods damn it, the oath to reclaim our homeland? We'll set foot in Alamigo soil again. Together. Or not at all. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Let's return to our brothers. Oh, and don't even think that you'll get off lightly. As soon as you're healed, I'll give you such a thorough thrashing that you'll wish we didn't find you. Okay, Karanova. Can't thank you enough for saving Galleon. I'll see you back at Quarry Mill. Right now, I'm trying to unlock Hawk Manor. So then I'll have 3 dungeons to do. Like, I have 2 I could do right now, but then I'm going to unlock another one. And I figure we might as well do them all at once. And I might hit 35 on the way to it. If I hit 35, I might want to do my job quest and then do the dungeons, maybe. I did. I've got Halatali, the Sunken Temple of Karn, and I'm gonna have Hawk Manor. That's 3. Galleon's expected to make a full recovery. We'll linger here till he's strong enough to take the road again. As much as I mislike this place, beggars can't be choosers. I am a warrior. Already. This is a warrior. Say that things are relatively settled. I seem to recall that you wanted something of me. You've proven a true friend to my people. Ask me of anything of me and it's yours, so long as it's mine to give. The cooperation of the people of Little Alamigo, that's all? Far be it from me to question your desires, of course. Very well, I'll provide you with a letter to show to Gundobald. The old bear was my mentor when I first joined the Resistance. He's intimidating to those who don't know him, but he takes care of his own. I have no doubt that he'll do all in his power to aid you. Yep, see? Level 33 warrior. Little soul crystal right there. I'm just saying at level 35, don't I get another job quest? That's what I was saying. I'm probably gonna hit 35 before I get the next dungeon unlocked at this rate. Maybe not. Okay. Why have you returned? You're not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. Oh, but I've got a letter. You spoke with Meffred. It's been so long since I last heard from him. I feared him dead. 12 be praised. Whoever you are, Meffred sees you as a friend, and any friend of Meffred is a friend of mine. I know that of this masked stranger you seek. I will tell you what I can. Ninja. Gundobald is willing to share with us. Alright. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Little Alamigo of late. Once more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trysts, but they're not like to yield information readily to an outsider. If you tell them I sent you, though, they may feel obliged to talk. Okay. Gundobald sent you. Listen, I told them it was a bad idea, all that tripe about believing the masked man, and you know anything about this? Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name about like that and expect me not to think I'm in for it. A masked man, no idea what you're talking about. Ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. What? Have I been meeting any masked men lately? Let's see. Oh, can't say I have, but I'll sure tell all my friends to be looking out for them. Hey, y'all bot. There's such a bunch been skulking about right suspicious like, but I got nothing to do with them. I know trouble's when I see it, and that there's trouble. Mark my words. Okay. So you have indeed confirmed my suspicions about a masked man. That's most troubling. Whatever the young ones are scheming can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them. I can see it in their eyes. I ought to know, for it once burned within me as well. 2 decades ago, that same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but to depose him and usher in a revolution. Well, we got our revolution all right, but it cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realize that we'd been dancing to the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late and Alamigo had fallen. There are times when a man must be patient, and now is such a time, though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they are like to commit great folly. If you learn aught of their plans, I would thank you to bring word to me. Nice. Hey, Adventure, you done talking to the old bear? Got a message for you from Wilfred. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you've won over Gundabald, and he wants a word with you. Says he's waiting over at the craggy area north of here. I'm sure it's not a trap, guys. Minus is already getting in his manner practice round. I gotta hurry up. Lord's actually here. Thanks for coming, friend. 'Tis no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's why I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping about? Did the Empire send you, or someone else? Coral got your tongue? No matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get her! How could I have seen that coming? Wilward's not even helping. You're stronger than you look. This changes nothing. Threaten us, beat us bloody all you like, but nothing short of death will make us give up our fight. We're going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire, and with it, we'll reclaim our homeland. Okay, man. You do that. What's hot begun to bald? Attacked by Wilward and his cronies, that they would go to such lengths for the sake of their plan of theirs. Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to harm others, if not themselves. You must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. Forward mentioned obtaining the power to bring down the Empire. What of the power could be? What power could he be speaking? Gundabald, Bertliana. God preserve, what happened? I was out foraging when the corpse brigade came. They took me to their hideout and they the whole while they laughed at me. They said that I suffer because I cling on to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Is it wrong to call ourselves Alamegans? Don't heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong. I swear to you, those villains will answer for their crimes in due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this? Wilred, he saw me outside. He was so angry. I must tend to Bertolina. In the meantime, I need you to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash. Alright. Big trouble in Little Alamega. Ooh, a map of Zanrak. Ascertain the youth's intention. If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low, to change the world for the better. Might as well be Gundabald's content. Might be Gundabald's content to eke out an existence in this musty old cave, but I'll be damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. And where in the Seven Hells did I put that bloody map? You found your map. Oh, mighty Rogger, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lend us your strength and put an end to the suffering of your people. Here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. Our plan's already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemies will pay for their crimes and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Come on. What those animals did to Bertolina is unforgivable, and to think they took us down, they look down on us. While I'll suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Wilred to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards. Man. Okay. Gone, a whole lot of them. It says I feared. They mean to take matters into their own hands, but what exactly is it they mean to do? What's this, a hunting knife and a map of Zam rock? Wait, you said Wilred spoke of crystals, did you not? They couldn't possibly mean to... By the gods, this is rank madness. The young fools are untrained and unbloodied all, and they have no notion of how dangerous the Amalja are. They'll be butchered before they get within 100 yalms of the crystals. They're headed east. If we hurry, we may yet find them before it's too late. Okay. That's our running back and forth. Next time I'm in Ul'dah, there are 2 limited time quests available. Limited time quests. Limited time, like it's a certain season, or limited time, like you can only get it when you're this level, or what does that mean? Seasonal? Alright. So it's like Halloween quests or something? That kind of thing? Yokai Watch, nice. Wilrid, did no others survive? This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We were going to reclaim our homeland. Pull yourself together, lad. We were going to make an offering of crystals to Rauger to summon him, just like the masked man taught us. We plotted to sneak into Zon Rock and make off with the Lizardmen's cash, but they caught us, and so many dead. Gods forgive me. Heathens, you shall pay for your crimes with your souls. I regret your young one's transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for youthful folly. For all their failings, they are the hope of the All-Megan people, and this hope I will guard with my life. Nice. Your skill at arms is impressive, adventurer. Our wayward youths could learn much from a woman like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to linger here. Let us return to Little Amigo. Wait, you come all this way. You have to get the crystals. They're right there, right for the picking. You learn nothing, Wilrid. You not see those tempered wretches? Such is the fate of those who are touched by a god. If that's what you desire for yourself and your friends? What? No one said anything about that. The masked man told us we could defeat the Empire if we summoned Rauger. He swore. Enough. I will hear the rest of the story, this sorry tale back in Little Amigo, and I dare say Alheim will wish to hear it as well. Alright. I sent you an extra quest. Oops. No more lies, Lord. Tell us everything. I was outside with the others when he appeared, the masked stranger. He told us about summoning Rogger, about using crystals, and then just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperately to believe that we could raise ourselves up from this squalor, so I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known there's no solution, nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts. Listen to me, Wilred. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are. No matter where we may be, Ala Mhigo lives on within us all. It is for you to decide what to make of this legacy, but whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider. I won't, I promise. Thank you for saving me, and sorry I tried to kill you. My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. The Ala Mhigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you will always be welcome here. Okay. Whether we had more information to offer, but what Wilred told you is the extent of our knowledge of the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you find him, put a swift end to the creature, for the sake of the young ones who died in his poisoned words. Back to Menphilia again we go. Okay. Put him on my hot bar. Maybe. One sec. Stretch. Been sitting at a computer all day. Such is the life of a programmer. Alright. Welcome back, Elheim. I am reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Ala Mhigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say, precisely the kind of deception the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work and no play makes Menphilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further on the investigation. While you were attending to business in Thanland, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the selfsame area. My instincts tell me our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12 willing will pick up Lahabra's trail once more. Neuraxia can furnish us with the details. Pray speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Olahan. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with the Walking One and Ashkan's consortium. According to Friendly One, a digging one named Medred had an encounter with a scary masked one. This masked one was certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medred. Digging One is to be found at Fall Gourd Float in North Shroud. Alright. The new zone, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Realm Reborn goes on forever, but we wanna play the expansions. Fate joined. Level 34. I need like all of these. I haven't been going out of my way to do the hunts, but if I run right into the hunt monsters, I might as well kill them, right? Hmm. I'm only a few quests away. All right, cool. I thought I had one more monster over here I had to kill that I was killing, but maybe I got them all. All right. I'm gonna end up unlocking the dungeon right as I hit level 35, it looks like. Or close abouts. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I just look death in the face. It's only a matter of time before he comes for me. Just like he came for that poor woman. Just soothe him. Alright. There. You're right, it's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but it hardly means I'm gonna suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can see straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance, a masked man, garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman, one glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, then we'll help you with whatever way you can. Aye, anything to ensure that I won't have to suffer Medred's hysteria ever again. Alright, teamwork, that's what we need to... Hey, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. It's the least I can do to repay her for comforting me. Right? So here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as Ziz could inflict such wounds. Why some folk are pointing their finger at him. If I somehow doubt that the answer is as simple as... I somehow doubt the answer is that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures and see if you can find any proof of connecting them to the deaths? Random bard. Nice. Alright, let's go kill some Ziz. This is so ridiculous. Stand with the glass. Pretty good. Over there. So I booted up Final Fantasy III today, and I was gonna do a little bit of grinding, start working on getting my levels up so I could start thinking about maybe even going like Onion Knight. And then I was like, well, if I'm gonna do grinding just to get levels, I really should probably be doing it as like monks, because monks have like crazy good HP growth. And like how much your stats grow is based on what job you are when you level up. And your stats are adjusted by your job, but like the bases stay. So if you level like say as a monk a lot and then have another character level as like a job with crappy health, then that guy will have more health than the other guy. So I was trying to level a little bit as monk to try and like get my HP up faster. But then I realized that like where I'm at, like if I do just a little bit farther forward, there's gonna be some bosses and stuff, and I don't want to do any of that off stream, so I just kind of didn't. You've already seen to the Ziz. Good work, adventurer. So were you able to find aught to suggest the creatures are our culprit? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know if what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been comely maidens. Better watch myself, eh? Unseemly japes aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some whisper that after each victim died, her rancor went into the great big rock somewhere southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm gonna give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so I'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring me back some of the fragments and I'll give you a gander. There's something you should know. I've been keeping this to myself, at least lest I worsen Medred's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Medred's. I was heading home after the day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked into a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran out without looking back. And this happened in the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. Okay. Isn't it like just farther to the west, like an Empire base or whatever? I need to remember some other quests here later. Survey says. I was trying not to get blown up by the dynamite. I guess it's not really a thing. Alright. Let's go turn in those two quests. Alright. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor Eye. It has a name. But what's a few vengeful spirits to a daunting adventure like you, eh? Huh? Why are these just your garden variety crystals? It's a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and the moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. A monstrous Vanamite appeared and you slew it. That creature had long been a scourge among the folks of Fallgord. Intentional or no, you've done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a giant winged eyeball I saw, or merely a trick of the light combined with blind panic? There have been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brow, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I've been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt it was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's impossible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a Banamite. But you and I were moms apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? What's more, our adventurer friend here had a run-in with the Banamite at the very spot you claimed to see that fiendish eyeball, isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. It would wager an apple tart on it. Please, serious, but listen, mayhap it's not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Gods, of course, there must be more than one of the buggers. Oh, so obvious, but then that means... Since they have been repeating sightings of these fiends, they must have even more victims as yet undiscovered. All gulp. I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave it to the rest of the expert. Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. While I burn to know the truth, some things are best left unknown. Lest you have forgotten, it was all the rocky area to the west I had my encounter. Should you discover aught of note, you want to alert the authorities. There is a guardhouse nearby. The serpents there should be pleased to see the information that pertains to the security of the region. Okay. The power of deduction. Oh shit. Oops. A little bit farther than I thought. Don't worry, guys. She's just resting. She's all tuckered out. She's sleepy, that's all. She's fine. Tell you, she's not dead. She was just sleeping. See? She's just fine. Still in the same place. Would you look at that? It's gonna be one of the first enemies we fight at the beginning of Final Fantasy IV right there. Lots of running around. Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I might assist you with? I love how the corpses are always just like a lily. It's a flower. Gods be good, not again. Again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to the horrid sight, poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the Central Shroud, and while the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any, sightings of winged eyeballs are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end none can say. The victims have all been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them so as to notify them of their next of. This button engraved with a lily motif. The very same object was found upon another victim. A family sigil of that organization, perhaps? This button engraved with the lily motif. The very. Okay. Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. Nice. The white lily. The secret of the white lily. I would have you hold on to this lily button. You will need to continue your investigation. While it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, you have proven yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. I might make a suggestion. You may wish to take the button to Gridania and have it examined by me, or mayhap someone in her vast network of contacts can shed light upon the sigil. Gridania, huh? Very well. Ah! Now Gumdola wishes to patrons of the Carline Canopy would keep a closer eye on their belongings. As if I'm not busy enough without playing Lost and Found. Oh, do forgive me. Once again, one of our customers has departed without her belongings, and I'm at a loss what to do about it. While I understand that adventurers have many cares on their minds, it would make my life much easier if they would keep their personal effects in order. You did not come here to lend an ear to my grumblings. This is the book in question. The face of its owner was unfamiliar to me, but the Earl over there seems quite smitten with her. As with every pretty lass he's laid his eyes on, but that's neither here nor there. Might I trouble you to inquire as to the girl's whereabouts? I found the man to be less than forthcoming ever since I spurned his advances. Ah, sweet little thing with the journal. Of course I remember her. I remember her well. Had a smile to warm the heart and a laugh, a lilt, one might say, to tickle the depths of the soul. She was most eager to hear the tales of my many travels, which speaks to her keen and sensitive mind. Jilly, I believe her name was. No, that's not right. Jilly was the redhead from last week. Ah, damned if I can't remember. You must understand, no small number of comely lasses seek out my company. I dare say keeping them all the names and faces straight is an adventure in itself. Any road, the girl spoke of paying a visit to Upkalu Falls before traveling on. Like as not, you'll find her there now, shedding a tear or two at our parting. You pass along my regards when you see her. She should be readily recognizable in that charming straw hat of hers. Okay. Good evening to you, Elheim. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for the scones and herb tea. Well, isn't this a lovely little button? The engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body. Lovely. Anyway, I'm afraid I did not recognize the little sigil. You'll have to find the answer the old-fashioned way by asking around. You could do worse than to begin with Bernadette over at the Aetherite Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. Okay. You know, tracking down the owner of a button? That's certainly not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then, show me what you got. Seems to be some manner of decorative button, reminiscent of those worn by families of old, though I cannot claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridanian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil of it. If there is a soul in Gridania who does, it would be Singlued over at the Lancers Guild. The woman makes a point of knowing all the citizens on a forename basis. Okay. Bernadette believes that I can help you? Well, that's a rather bold assumption to make. I'll try to assist, never you fear. Whether aught comes of it is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Fascinating. Work of this quality is rarely seen in a handful of ordinary Gridanias. The owner of this button is most certainly well-to-do. You may wish to take your search to the Gentry's Ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Of late there's been a man who is perpetually seated on the bench at the ward's entrance. His name is Ursendel. And I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon his breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. I do not believe we are acquainted. Pray leave me be to my thoughts. The sigil of Dartincourt family. How do you come to be in the possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman. Her face, it was marred anyway? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths. But on one condition. You promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment. Alright. I was once a manservant in the employ of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Dartincourt. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may as well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moods until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her regain that she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of the body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was that I left Hawk Manor, my home, for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Hawk Manor to the western edge of the Central Shroud. Go now, go and do what must be done. Yay! Dungeon quest. Cool beans. Come over here real quick too. Pardon, I don't believe you've met. He's something of mine, you say? My journal, thank the 12. In my haste to escape the clutches of the insufferable mutton monger, it slipped my mind entirely. Might it be so bold as to ask your name? You have my gratitude, Elheim. It may not look like much, but to count this humble diary among my prized possessions. Its pages brim with tales of the most heart-stirring sights to be seen in our realm. As told by the sensitive souls I have met in my travels across the Eorzea, tales that have struck me with the most incurable case of wanderlust. As an adventurer, excuse me, you too have seen the realm, I'm sure. But I would ask you, Elheim, have you ever truly seen her, or witnessed the Eorzea and her myriads of splendor? Have you stood in the palm-fringed beaches of Coastal Sol just as the sun peeks out over the horizon, its rays kissing the sands beneath your feet? Have you lost yourself in the night sky of Sigoli, adrift amidst the boundless sea of stars? But what do I even try to convey words what must be seen to be appreciated? To our fortune, whithersoever we wander, Eorzea's beauty is but a stone's throw away. If I may quote from my journal, yes, this is the one. Afore the fane, between the two that are as one, her divine cup runneth over with light ethereal. Such were the conjurer's words, and I would see as she saw. I saw for myself before coming here, and I can assure you the conjurer spoke true. Indulge me. Go there and look out among the beauty before you. I would hear your thoughts. You like how one story dungeon you're putting tormented souls to rest, and the next one you're searching a jungle for cheese? What? Well, you can get a ribbon, it doesn't really do anything. Black chocolate. Magitech Deathclaw identification key. Takes 6. Cool. Oh, nothing right now. Alright. Is the Magitech Deathclaw the one that's a hand that picks you up and carries you around? Yeah. I don't really care, man. Whatever you want to be, I'm gonna tank. Who wants to be involved in the dungeons? Because we're about to do some dungeons. I got 3 dungeons I can do right now. I think we do have 4. I'm just confirming it. We got Bless You, Minus, and Karanova, right? I'll tank. Who wants to be healer? Ooh, I need to kill these floating eyes too. Yeah, we can do Discord. Oh, give me a second, I'll get in there. One second. Make sure that it's playing over the stream. I think it's good. So yeah, if you guys go into the Discord, there's an on-air. Yeah, Minus is in there. Can you hear me, Minus?
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead and get these floating eyes.
Hey, Gilded, do you want to make the party?
Okay. I'm killing some guys. For my Marauder. Something long.
So you remember how I mentioned that most dungeons are just like straight lines? And it's not too windy?
This one is not.
This one is like the most confusing one to get around.
I remember doing this one before. This one really stuck out to me because of that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because when I ran this one with a group, they all knew to like teleport to the entrance of the dungeon at a certain point, and then got really annoyed when I didn't do it. And I was like, "Where did everybody go?" And they're like, "You're supposed to teleport." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it's actually faster to use return after one of
the I think that and like everyone just did it, and I was like, I'm sorry. Who am I missing? Karanova? Oh, bless you, yeah. Bless you's still on his level 80, yeah? That's fine, though. Because he'll just down level me.
Yep.
I'm gonna kill these floating eyes real quick.
Nice. Nothing metal.
Oh, actually, I don't even need that one.
I figured I might as well farm the Yokai Watch weapon, at least for the class I am now, while I'm waiting for Gilded to catch up.
What's the Yokai Watch weapon?
There's one for each class, and then there's a minion for each class.
Interesting.
It's mostly cosmetic. It's not actually like a really good weapon or anything.
Alright, so I gotta queue us up, yeah? Easy peasy. I do think this is a pretty cool dungeon though. It's different.
You know which ability you have that stuns, right? That one's super useful in this dungeon.
Yeah.
Because the floating succubus things always start with a big AoE that you can stun them to stop.
Okay, which way do we go first?
I mean, the DPS, at least melee DPS, is a stun as well, so if we pull 2, we're fine. Remember to put your tank stance on.
Thanks. Yeah, my stun thing has like a 25-second cooldown.
Is it a warrior specific ability or is it a tank specific ability?
I think it's tank.
Okay. Shows how little I know. I don't play any tank.
Yeah, it says Gladiator, Marauder, Paladin, Warrior,
Okay.
Dark Knight, and Gunbreaker. So yeah, it's definitely tank.
Yeah, melee DPSs have their own stun.
What's that ability do if you want? It just does AoE damage?
Yeah, just AoE damage.
I also have, I have an interrupt too, which would also kind of accomplish that, I guess. And interrupts 30 seconds, and the stuns 25 seconds, so together that's good. Look at that locked door. Ooh, I got a beast gauge? Ooh.
Oh, nice. Didn't you hide that?
Yeah, I did.
You should probably hide that.
Yeah. I have no idea what it does.
But yeah, the other locked door, I think, probably just had a treasure chest in it. Some of them are the locked doors for things you need to go through, and some of them aren't. Some of them have nothing. So there's like a certain number of locked doors and a certain number of tiny keys that unlock them.
Yeah.
It feels like no matter what, there's always a lot of tank gear.
I like tanker. It's okay. It's still just a little
I think
like
it's
gem
because
thing.
you unlock an ability at like level 35, but you're synced under level 35 at the moment.
Oh, okay. It's actually interesting because like the it said the beast gauge expanded, but it's still just like Nothing's changed. I guess you're saying it says I'm synced.
Yeah, it's because you're synced below the level that it actually expands.
Oh, thank you.
The door opens. Guess if you can figure out the right way to go.
Beast Cage displays the current strength of a warrior's wrath. Okay. I'll look at that later.
Nope, wrong
The
way.
way that's not blocked?
Nope. Nope, turn around.
What? Oh, we don't go that way at all?
Yeah, we go back.
Oh, is this the way we go like down to the basement
Nope.
or something?
We go back through the entrance that we came in.
Oh, of course. Yeah, 'cause that makes sense. Oh my god. It's a creeper. Oh, this is gonna be actually kind of funny. Yeah. Come here, creeper. Let's see. What do you look like? Yeah. You sneaking up on me to blow up? Is that what you're doing? Alright, well, I'm tanking right now, so good night. My son's got Minecraft creeper pajamas now. He's sneaking around. My son's sneaking around the house. He's got like Minecraft creeper pajamas. It's funny because he gets on the camera and they're green, so he's like invisible.
Someday I'll get an AoE ability. It's level 40.
I have the one. It's not very strong, but you know.
Yeah, I get one AoE ability at level 40, and the other one at 62. They really don't want Dragoons having AoE, I guess.
Well, I mean, Dragoons are pretty much single target. That makes sense. Man, Dragoons in Final Fantasy 3 are insane.
Because they use fly and it's super effective.
Versus flying stuff, they do like, I don't know, like triple damage or something. It's like some stupid amount. And
Was that the introduction of the Dragoon archetype? Was Final Fantasy 3?
Yeah. For Final Fantasy, a lot of the jobs came from 3. 3 was the first ninja, it was the first Dragoon, it was the first... and someone didn't come back. Viking.
But like, where did the origin of Dragoon as like spiky lance wielders come from? Because like, you mostly see that in Final Fantasy, but I imagine they got it from somewhere.
Imagine just like history or mythology. Not sure. Well, actually, you know, technically, they were not. The Dragoons did not get introduced in Final Fantasy 3. They got introduced in Final Fantasy 2. Because you remember, you go to find the Dragoons, but they've all been killed except for one. And then Rickard, the last Dragoon, joined your party for a little bit. And you help hatch the dragon egg to bring back the dragons, or the wyverns. The Dragoons actually came from Final Fantasy 2. Although there was nothing special about them in that one. Like, they followed the same rules as everybody else. Final Fantasy 3 was the first one where they got the jump ability and extra damage to flying creatures and a great affinity for lances and all that. That came from 3. Is there a reason to go in there?
I don't think there's a single reason to go in there. There's no enemies and no chest.
Okay. Ooh, 2 guys. Kill the Jester first. Got it.
Make sure you're still holding aggro for both.
Damn.
As for why we killed the Jester first, I actually have no idea. I just remember the first time that I came in here, I was told to kill the Jester first, and every time since then, killed the Jester first.
Oh, so I'm sure it's good to focus, even if there's no reason for a certain one to be first. The Jester does magic damage.
Yeah, might just,
Two
might just
be
be that.
mostly physical. Then you return. I'm learning. So what about the rest of the first floor? Like the part that opened up, does that go to anything?
The part that opened up just takes us back to these stairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we basically just made a loop.
Oh, running away, eh? Fireman wannabe. Ooh, the mistress of the house. Anything special about her?
Really?
Spank and spank it is. What are these lamps?
Yeah, at this low level, even bosses can get stunned. Eventually, everything just has immunity to stun.
And wow. Typically the boss can't be stunned. But a lot of times the stun is still
of course they go immune as soon as that limit break.
The limit break's an interesting mechanic too.
It becomes much more relevant later, mostly trials.
And what were those lamps?
They just, every few seconds they would pulse and deal minor damage to all of us. We could go over to them to activate them to turn them off.
Huh.
And then eventually they would turn back on.
Ooh, new axe. Alright. One down, two to go.
We gonna knock them all out now?
Yeah, might as well. Everybody together.
Sounds good.
Ooh, cutscene. Darkness has taken root within these halls. Sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Eidline chooseth well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength from Master La Habrea. That task is now accomplished. We must take our leave of you. Aw. Fare you well, bringer of light. Ooh, I like the new meter now. And I'm guessing I'm going to use that meter for something.
Yep, it mentioned a couple of abilities, I think, that use it.
Let's do Haltality first. It's the lower level one. All right. When I'm done here, I'll have a job quest to do, I'm sure. I miss having job quests in WoW. Like in classic WoW, you used to have like job quests. You used to have to actually go to your trainer to learn your abilities. Now you just get them when you level up. You don't ever go to have any job quests. It's all just gone.
Yeah, see, like in A Realm Reborn Heavensward, a lot of abilities are locked behind job quests, and people got like really annoyed with that because especially now that that's older content, you could be like level 55 but still haven't completed a Realm Reborn, and so all the Heavensward job quest skills would be locked.
Yeah.
So in
Ooh, I actually need these guys probably for the Grand Company.
yeah. But so for Stormblood onwards, they don't lock very many at least. Skills behind job quest.
I'm only level 23 in here. Oof.
Yeah, we're synced down, maybe fewer abilities.
Yeah, the next one's like level 35 dungeon, so.
The next one's a pain. The second tempo card can be really annoying.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
Oh.
I realize I'm soloing this shit.
Yeah, I just realized that you went the other way.
I want to kill this guy
Where
from
is
my heart.
everyone?
Yay! 266 flame cereals. I figured there's probably more of them in the dungeon, but I might as well just grab it while he's right in front of me. Ding. Probably won't get any gear in here.
This boss technically has a mechanic, but we kind of just ignore it.
Ooh, I need him for my thing too. So just tank his back? Got it.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have my third part of my combo.
Same.
It's like, why isn't it lighting up? Oh, I don't actually have it. See all these ads. Oh, there they are. I see on the map now. You're supposed to stop them from getting to the bonfire?
You're supposed to, but them getting to the bonfire does like a negligible amount of damage.
Girl. Where'd you guys go?
Activate the fire.
Okay.
I totally got lost the first time I did this. I remember like wandering around.
It looked like you guys jumped in the fire, but then you disappeared. And I didn't realize it was like a teleporter.
It's an ethereal flow.
I said teleport.
I think that's the first time I've seen 4 of the chain winches give lightning sprites.
Extra XP. Getting almost 2,000 for each one of these little guys.
I mean, how much were we getting for Hawkeye Manor enemies? I don't know. Scroll back.
Ooh, I need this guy for my log too.
I think they just want you to do Halatali.
Clearly. Immortal Flames are really all about this place. This guy is fun / annoying.
Purple equals bad.
Do I get out of the water?
Yes.
Ah. Oh, that would have been good to know. I was trying to get him over here, but he goes back to the middle and does that.
I think he also goes invulnerable, so. I shall become the ranged dragoon. A lot of tank gear.
Yeah, we have probably a better gear. This ethereal flow is more obvious.
The boss room is right up the stairs here, by the way.
I see it. There's a treasure right there, though. Huh? Alright. Ooh, mapping the realm. Is this the final boss?
Yep.
That's quick. Sweet.
This time we have to pay attention to the little fire ads that spawn.
There. Should I be going after them or just hold the boss still?
The healers and DPS can do it.
Ooh, cutscene. Yeah, I'm not really overly. Oh, okay. Is he gonna move out of that crap?
Not until we kill the ads.
Ah.
That's basically the mechanic.
Gotcha. I was gonna say I'm not really ever concerned about that chest because it's not gonna have gear that I've already gotten better than, if anything. Alright. We're just tearing through these dungeons. Actually did get a armor upgrade in there. That's nice. And no more thick bottoms. I finally got a good enough pair of pants that I can wear shoes with. Alright. Level 35 dungeon. This is gonna be a little bit better, bigger.
Give me a second. I'm finishing up a fate.
Yeah, sure.
I always forget which order you have to put the things in for the secret chests.
Ooh, secret chests.
I can look it up real quick.
You freaking Olmec back in there.
Fire left, fruit right. Let's put it in chat so you remember.
Well, I actually have my warrior bar.
Yeah, we're actually on level now.
I don't think I actually get to use it until I do the job quest, I don't think.
Right.
And now I have to heal. Yeah, I'm taking more damage here, that's for sure.
Okay, so this boss has a mechanic you should know about.
Okay.
When he does his room-wide attack, it will inflict you with Doom, and in order to get rid of Doom, you have to step on one of these square panels on the floor, whichever one's glowing orange.
Okay.
Other than that, some ads will spawn every once in a while. Make sure they don't reach the healer. Take aggro.
I like how they're slowly introducing mechanics like that. It's like training.
It's kind of weird because Doom is used as a mechanic in a bunch of different ways in a bunch of different places. Like, normally the meaning of Doom is if you don't get restored to 100% HP in the next few seconds, you die. But then some fights have other ways to cleanse Doom.
Did Doom get mana? Yeah, new helmet.
So these stone faces, you need to kill them while they're on a glowing platform.
Okay.
Wasn't quite on it yet.
Shit.
It'll revive itself. There we go.
Okay.
I foresee myself doing very many Red Mage-esque things with this elusive jump skill. And by that I mean jumping backwards off the edge of a map and dying. Red Mage is known for that.
Red Mage is known for jumping off of a cliff.
Basically for backflipping off of a cliff. Because like part of their main damage rotation includes an ability that has them backflip like a good amount. And if you use that in a location where there's not much space or you can fall off the side, you just die. So like Titan's Trial is a good example of that. And Dragon gets this, which is basically the same thing. Wait, did we pick up both the items? Yeah, we did.
I think
cool.
so, yeah. Alright, this guy. Oh, I remember he has like something in his chest or something you have to hit, right? Soul stone. Okay. I'll let you guys figure it out. Good luck with keeping hate this guy's random, oh no.
Yeah, every so often this guy just decides there's a specific person he wants to attack and then runs up to them and hits them.
My god.
That was bad timing. I jumped away as we landed. I tried to jump away as we landed the killing blow to look fancy, but the soul stone came up right as that was going to happen, so he didn't die.
Oh, good. More of these guys. Ooh, a croc. Booyah. Alright, this is where you gotta place the items, right?
Well, you tried.
Happened.
This was another one where we have 2 items and 2 slots, and we have to put each one in the correct spot. Otherwise, enemies appear like this.
I thought we wrote down where to put them in the message or whatever.
That's for the next one, not for this one. Boy, 13 water shards. How exciting.
Get on that crafting.
So, I don't know which one you tried to put on before.
I didn't do any of them.
I'll just let Karanova do it. No, it's not fire. Fire and fruit are the other are for the next section. So this one was the helm and the gem.
Earth shards that time. Woo! Glad we got those chests.
Okay. 2 more doors here.
Are these the ones where you were talking about?
No, it's actually later on. I forgot about these 4.
I'm just gonna have it.
I'll take that though.
Hello. That is not really tanking stuff, is it? Hey, shards.
Nice, you just got the achievement for mapping the realm.
Yeah.
No, not you, Karanova.
Oh,
I guess they'd never been into that room.
that's kind of funny. This must be.
Yeah, let me, fire left, fruit right.
Oh. Oh, cutscene.
Not gonna lie,
the
this
boss?
boss has mechanics. I still have no idea what they are.
What?
Oh, there's some tanking gear for you.
More new pants. Well, if you don't know the mechanics, let's just wing it.
Just dodge.
What are the floor panels for? Fill it up.
Yeah, and some faces spawn eventually. I still have no idea what actually putting them on there does. Guess we can do it.
So I'll do it. What about these rings?
Yeah, those shoot out attacks. Like, we could go around and killing all those things as they spawn, or you could just dodge. Think of it as practice for Ultima.
Okay. Oh, it takes over like a whole quadrant over there too. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like there were a lot of mechanics that we just kind of didn't worry about.
There's a lot of lasers going on there, that's all I'm saying. I like my new pants. They have like a headband instead of a helmet.
So at the end of every dungeon, it like automatically gives you a piece of armor that matches your class. Like not from any chest or anything, but then you can also then get that piece again from the chest. So it's just kind of annoying when that happens because you basically miss out on.
Oh, like immediately no. Oh, these are just like really big feet. I have like thigh-high boots now. I thought I replaced my pants, but I just covered them up. Oh, that was all the dungeons on my list. Thanks for all the fun, guys.
No problem. So now you have another 20 quests or so to the next dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already level 38. I should probably go do my warrior.
Yeah, I just hit 40, so.
Congrats. Yeah, I'll be doing this like every Wednesday, so. Yeah, I gotta go back to Limsa Laminsa. Wait, actually, where are the warriors at? No, they're at Costa del Sol.
Check the little sub quest in the main scenario banner. We'll show you.
Yeah, they're north of Costa del Sol. Thanks for the tip, though. That's handy. See you later, Karanova. Thanks for joining in. It's just our lead meat guy here. A new ability, Vengeance. Reduce the damage taken by 30% and deliver an attack with potency of 55 every time you suffer physical damage. Nice. Warrior seems like the tank that wishes it was DPS.
Actually, that's Gunbreaker.
Okay.
Gunbreaker is apparently the tank for DPSing.
I am almost certainly going to switch jobs when I get up higher. Not because I don't like Warrior, but Dark Knight and Gunbreaker sound really cool. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow too, but it's going to be a short stream. Because Thursday nights are going to be my tabletop RPG nights.
So you're going to be starting the stream after that finishes?
I'm going to do the stream before. I was a little confused about the time zones. So, because like the guys running the game are a time zone over. It's actually starting at 10, so like I'm gonna play Final Fantasy from 8 to 10, and then I think the tabletop's gonna go from like 10 to midnight.
Okay.
And then I may or may not stream after. It depends on how I feel. But I'll get in that first 2 hours. I might cut it a little bit shorter this time. This is our first session getting together, and a lot of us haven't talked to each other in like freaking decade. So we're probably gonna get together a little early and, you know, say hi before the game actually starts. I don't know that I'm actually gonna make that much more progress tonight and tomorrow that anything will really come up. It'll probably just be a lot of main story quest stuff.
Yeah, don't hurt your voice talking over all the irrelevant characters' dialogue. Finally, an AoE spell.
Oh, the beast mode thing like puts like this aura around me when it's charged up. That's the inner beast. Okay, so it's just a big attack that takes beast mode damage. Welcome back, my friend. I can see that you've not neglected your training. For my part, I fear that deciphering the ancient chronicles of my people is proving to be a much more demanding task than I had imagined. Mind you, it hasn't helped that I've been somewhat preoccupied of late. A comrade of mine from my days in the company of heroes asked me to do a favor, and has taken me back and forth across the realm like some bloody fairy. I'm on a hunt for some mysterious feral beast that's been terrorizing small folk, People don't know where this monstrosity came from, but witnesses say its thirst for blood is unlike anything they've ever seen. Unfortunately, the time that I've spent in pursuit of the beast is time that I have not spent studying the chronicles, and I'm sorry to say that I have made little progress. However, while on the road, I was able to decipher one passage that may be of interest to us both. From what I can gather, the chronicles tell of an ancient set of armor, forged by my ancestors in the flames of the seven hells, and that inscribed with the same arcane incantations that adorn the soul of the warrior. It would seem that this mighty armor was passed down from hero to apprentice for centuries, until one man, driven by rage and vainglory, cast all 5 pieces from Abalathia's highest peak, and since that day the armor has remained lost, and with it the power that it harbors. As far as I can make out, the next passage in the Chronicles concerns the whereabouts of these missing artifacts, though I have only been able to make sense of the odd word thus far. Still, I must confess to some excitement. Imagine what a warrior clad in such a garb could achieve. Ah, if only my brother were here. He could decipher the text together and spread the we could decipher the text together and spread the teachings of our people to the entire realm. Alas, he is not. His whereabouts are as hidden to me as those of an ancient armor, of the ancient armor. I would have liked for you to meet him, if only so you could have looked upon a true warrior. Well, perhaps you still shall. The Orzea is not as large as most people perceive. Paths cross, fates intertwine, and such is the will of the spinner. It may be that my brother has chosen a similar path to mine, but I've rambled long enough. You are here to take the next step in your training, and so I shall oblige. In the southern reaches of Thanalan, in the Sagali Desert, a god's forsaken wasteland of naught but sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. It is there that the Leviathan of the dunes lurks, a sandworm of gargantuan proportions. When facing this mammoth creature, you will soon realize that the feeble hacks and slashes of your puny axe are ill-suited to the task of felling such a foe. But do not let this dissuade you. Wake the slumbering beast within, and summon forth the strength that transcends the limits of your physical form. Mind you, first you'll have to find the beast, and that might prove a tall order in itself. The Yu tribe that inhabits Forgotten Springs is wise to the movements of the denizens of the desert. Should you want for guidance, I'd wager they could send you in the right direction. Whew. That was a mouthful. Alright, so we gotta go to Southern Thanalan. Have we been here before? No, Forgotten Springs. It's south of Luwal, there you go, okay. We're on the case. Alright, I'm gonna get out of the voice chat.
Sounds good.
Okay. Our tag, it says thief. But she looks like she's an archer. 7th Son Thieves. Yeah, she's a bard. Cool. We can cross here. Zon Rock. There our hunts are going. For Marauder, we've only got these 2 left. And it'll give us a nice 20,000 XP for finishing it. For Immortal Flames, we got these. Eastern, East Shroud, North Shroud, Gorthus, Central Shroud, South Shroud. Well, we're not near any of those right now. Minority Rapport. Can we? Because there's a gatekeeper here. We have to go around the long way. Got some good gear upgrades from doing those dungeons. It's really nice to have you guys to do the dungeons with. Instant dungeons with a coordinated group are so much better than random ones. Dune Angler, that's a hunt, yeah? I don't have the hunt though. Just looking at doing hunts at some point. Another quest there too. A bunch of quests in here. Leviathan of the Dunes saw the fearsome bugger not a week ago, preying on a group of merchants south of Bayergot's Strike. Smart ones dropped their wares and turned tail and ran. The dumb ones, well, at least they can say they died rich. These are just all people we gotta talk to. I've seen the beast. Stands 3 moms high, he does, and he stirs up sandstorms with each writhe and wriggle. Showed up my humble field some years ago and has been swallowing up my would-be prey in that gaping maw ever since. Excited to do some of the later dungeons? Absolutely, man. I'm excited to do all of the dungeons. All of them. We could try to do like PvP and stuff later too. Yeah. Sandworms are particularly sensitive to vibrations in the earth, such as those made by running. If you're looking to summon one of the beasts, then I suggest you search for their tracks and then run about making as much of a clamor as possible. I'd also suggest you seek the cure for your madness. I'm interested to do some of the dungeons once we get to the point where we actually have to follow the mechanics. That would be cool. Alright, so he's saying just like head off down there and run around basically. That I can do. I'm gonna start separating out my abilities. Like I'm thinking put like offensive abilities on the main bar and like defensive cooldowns on the secondary bar. So like Rampart, Reprisal, Vengeance would be on the secondary bar. Our main combo would be over here. And these most of them would stay the same. Maybe like any of the like buffs, like Guerrilla Battle, Berserk, all of those on the second bar to make more room for the actual attacks. I try and like figure out how I want to like organize this. I'm gonna need more than 2 bars. Interesting desert. Looks like it's got a city buried underneath it. We see some sandworms. I think we're looking for an extra big sandworm. You can give tips on organizing hotbars in the controller, but not mouse and keyboard. Is it that big of a difference? On the controller, you have like 4 and 4, and you can hit a button to go to different 4 and 4, right? So like you organize them in groups of 4 or groups of 8 or something, instead of groups of 12. And my mouse actually has like, I don't know if you can see it, like 12 buttons on the side of it. So my thumb's actually hitting all those keys, and my left hand hits like Control or Alt or whatever to switch hotbars. This looks like a good spot here. Yep. Giant sandworm. like 8 for left trigger, 8 for right trigger, and 8 for basically no trigger is 24, which I'm already covering with just 2 hotbars right here. Because each of my hotbars is 12. Double tapping your triggers another 8 slots, and holding left trigger, right trigger, or right trigger, left trigger can give you another 8. Interesting. Now I have to get coordinated to do all that. Now I gotta go back to Curious Gorge already. Holy crap. That was an easy fight. Of course I am over leveled. Costa del Sol. Finger gymnastics. I just like hold shift or hold control or hold alt and then press one of the number buttons on my mouse. Or hold none of them and press one of the number buttons on my mouse. Like right now, all of these are the number buttons on my mouse, and all of these are all the number buttons on my mouse plus shift. Basically. Ah, Elheim, your crystal grows ever stronger. In felling the raging sandworm, the beast within you slowly but surely rouses to wakefulness. When next you do battle, methinks you will find yourself capable of movements heretofore unfamiliar to you. When you've mastered your new talents, return to me. In the meanwhile, I shall continue to study of the ancient texts. Yay, inner beast. We're close to coming back to him already. You hear the whispers of the village ancestors. Nice. Curious Gorge is always hitting the rock, but it's usually closed. He stops and pretends he wasn't. That's funny. It's level 40, right? Yeah. My Mithril Tempest. Oh, it's a combo for overpower. That's awesome. Instead of a cone, it hits all nearby enemies? For 100? Okay, cool. So next we'll be able to combo overpower as well. Well, Inner Beast is over there for now. Move these around. Let's see. Let's put that there. Back in Gridania. Yeah. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. She went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encounter are the same pair that first led the lady astray, but it is plain that they are the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe that they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence, I allowed I not know how many young innocent women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore. Through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Yeah. And back to Minfilia. Of course. We are 10 levels ahead of the main quest right now. Maybe I should be leveling 2 jobs at once, just switching between them every other level or something. Welcome back, Elheim. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn to the Twelveswood? Two of La Habre's minions, and they sought to measure your strength by their own admission. The devil's taunt us. It is beyond doubt then the Ossians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet it will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we were at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the 3 nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world, and the Ossians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. I don't know that I have a second job I want to level. I just feel like I'm like over leveled for the main quest right now. The main quest is giving me more than enough experience. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you're ready to be briefed. I will summon the others. Ninja. Can I already do ninja? What do you have to do? Thief into ninja or something like that? You do rogue into thief, and then that use that to unlock ninja or something like that. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of ninja. Ninja's okay. I think for me, I was like trying to remember all the different combinations that you can do with like your like ability. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like they have like the ability that depending on what abilities you lead into it does a different ability or something like that. Minfilia is waiting to brief you and your fellow Scions on a new development. Ninja was the first job that I played on my other character before I got Machinist. Well, I did Ninja and then I switched to Samurai, and I did Samurai for a while and then I switched to Machinist.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan.
Dun dun dun!
Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
The biggest problem with like the Realm Reborn storyline is just like these beasts summon their primal, and then these beasts summon their primal, and then these beasts summon their primal. You do a bunch of random busy work in between. The Ossian storyline is kind of interesting. The whole thing with Nero and the Empire is kind of interesting, but like the primal thing just over and over and over again is kind of like okay. They're no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation.
And it makes sense the Ossians are trying to like get everyone to summon their primals or whatever. But I don't know.
There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Mervib hired able to fend them off.
Mervib.
Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst.
Didn't Curious Gorge say that he was in the Company Heroes?
The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The Echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept? Thank you.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola, can we?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Ariange, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You'll be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward. Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Right. Definitely liking like our armor more after all those dungeons. Got a little bit of an upgrade there. I gotta get one Solomonsa. Could have just taken a crystal over here. Hail, adventurer, and welcome to the Maelstrom Command. If you wish to know more about enlisting, speak with the personnel officer. Unless you're a guest, you are the guest you're told to expect. Oh, forgive me, madam. Business, then. It is as we told the antecedent. The kobolds have once again summoned Titan. A little over a moon ago, we began to observe the beastmen moving south in increasing numbers from Ogomoro. Our scouts subsequently confirmed the object of their aggression. Crystals. Fodder for their fell primal. Thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Word has spread of your accomplishments, Elheim. On behalf of Limsa, I thank you for heeding your call. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address Elheim personally. We're no strangers to conflict. Long have the Sahagin and the Kobolds plagued our people, nor is this the first time we've had to address a primal threat. In the past, when the Titan rose to threaten the peace, it was the company of heroes who turned. But they are long disbanded, and we must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So it is that we now turn to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Limsa's best hope. I hope you're right. Yet the situation is far more from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the Thalassocracy make a pact with the beastmen that they would keep to their own lands and no blood would be shed? And was it not the Laminsons who violated this agreement, dissatisfied with their lot? Shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. I would advise you to choose your words with greater care, Lady Y'shtola. Stand down, High Commander. She has the right of it. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it. Yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from Titan's wrath. Or would you have us fall upon our swords? My apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Linselman's citizenry of course, of paramount concern. Already we have observed disruptions in the flow of Aether further inland. The effects will be felt here in the city ere long. I ask much of you, I know, but the need is great. Can I count on your help, Elheim? You have my thanks, along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. If the kobolds should summon Titan demonstrates that they are no longer amenable to negotiation. This being the case, we must needs prepare for conflict. Before we meet Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can from our foe. I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. The company of heroes may be no more, but several of its former members still live. It is said that one of them is employed in the Grey Fleet mills in Lower Lanaska. Quite why a mercenary should choose to become a miller, I do not know, but when you find him, mayhap you could ask him for me. I, meanwhile, shall seek his fellows. I guess we just got a Tempest Gate. Lay down your burden, son. Come drain a pint with me. We'll have a grand old time, fine lass or three. You gonna say something, Venture? You're just gonna keep staring. And you wanna know about the company of heroes? Ah, hell's price of bleeding fame. Can't a miller mill in peace no more? Still, seeing as you come all this way, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to oblige you. Consider yourself lucky, lass. Old Tractum was the company's best axeman. Now, what is it you want to know? Teach me the ways of the axe. Oh. Oh, you want to hear about how the company heroes bested a primal, do you? Let me guess. You mean that bastard Titus, eh? If only you'd been there to see it. It was a mighty struggle, like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights, we did. The ground trembled with every step Titus took. And when we hit the girl, it felt like a cannonball in the gut. Oh, just like that. Oh, what's that look for? I'm a goddamn hero, I'll have you know. People around here sing me praises. Don't tell me you only care about learning the secret tactics we used to beat old Titus. Well, too bad, because now I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so damn desperate, then why don't you do me a favor and kill those rats that have made a nest in the windmill south of here? Yeah, and then we'll talk. That's right, this guy's a fake. I forgot about this guy. Oh, how does this character keep coming up? But he does. This is not like a short-lived character. He's in a bunch of quests. The raccoon. Ah, so the beasts are dead, are they? Nice work, Venturer. Saved me a hassle. Oh, never mind. What? You're still asking how we beat Titus? I don't know, Venture. It was a pretty risky strategy, the kind only a veteran of 10-score battles could rely upon. I want to teach you, I truly do, but unless you prove you have what it takes to face that fat bastard, I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, you need to be capable of saying, say, a goobu. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. The creatures have a taste for flour milled here, so you ought to have no trouble finding one in the vicinity. Of course, I ain't asking you to cut one down quick as a skilled axeman like myself. Any road, why don't you be heading out due west, stand and look out in case a gobble comes calling. Slay it, and I might consider telling you more about old Titus. Okay. Keep him watch. Oh, there we go. You again? The Gobby was harassing the Millers is dead? Didn't think you had it in you, Venture. Still, you're looking... It took forever and a day to get the job done. I'm still not sure if I should tell you our secrets. Oh my god, dude. As I was saying, I still don't know if you got what it takes to face Titus. Maybe if he slew, checked him. You in here drinking again? If you are, that gob, you better be dead. Oh, it's dead, Chief. You have my word on that. Cleave the bastard skull in two with the trusty axe. I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend here say if I ask her? She'll vouch for me, of course. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true. Was it Tractum who slowed the globule, or was it you? Chief, what are you saying? It's me. Tractum, the finest axeman ever to serve in the company heroes, the legendary mercenaries who slew that bastard Titus. Titus? Who in the seven hells is Titus? Some primal you fought in a drink-sodden dream? The company heroes slew Titan, you bloody half-wit. Alright, well, you see, Titus was me and the lads used to call him... That's the biggest load of Sahagin shite I ever heard. Both of you outside, we'll learn the truth of the Leminson way. Tractum, you didn't slay that Gubu, then you may consider your contract revoked. There we go. You look so shook. Talk to Miller. Alright, you know the rules. First one to smash the boulder, we judge the Gobu Slayer. Don't even think about trying to kill me, that's cheating. I got the large one. Nice. Who picked these boulders? They're nothing alike. How the hell? Let the contest begin. What's he doing? Getting a run up on it? You taking a break? Oh, there's a bomb. Alright, I admit it. I lied about being in the company heroes, but I'm begging you, Chief. Please don't dismiss me. I've learned my lesson. Honest, I have. Save your blubbering Tractum. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please. I didn't want to deceive you. I swear, it's just I kept getting turned away by all the folk I asked for work, and I panicked. The last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I learned he was the captain in the company heroes, I finally understood why. I wasn't being serious when I said I was one of them, but you wouldn't believe me, so I look, his name was Wastekate, alright? He'll tell you how to defeat Titus, or whatever the hell's his name was. Oh, that's what you wanted, ain't it? So come on, then. Tell the chief to forgive me, it's only fair. It's funny because he's telling this to Costa del Sol to talk to somebody, and that's where our guy is, who was in there. I don't know why we're trying to track down someone who used to be in the company of heroes when the person teaching us to be a warrior is someone who used to be in the company of heroes. But whatevs. Of course, his name is Curious Gorge, not Wastekate. Pardon? You wish to slay the Lord of Crags? We must slay him, Captain. The people of Leminsa depend upon us. Fetch yourselves heroes, then, just like in the tales. Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate here has bathed in Ifrit's hellfire and lived. She is blessed with the power that protects her from primal influence. Thus was she able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno. We know full well the risks. We've taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray be so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A woman who can't be tempered. Useful, but it will not be enough. It's true the company heroes fought and defelled primals, but each victory was bought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced, yet we defeated him in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you'll succeed. Believe what you will, we need to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserve better than the greeting I gave you. But I'll not send you into Ogomoro on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances you are more than a common adventurers. I oversee security in Master Gigeruju's estates. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by attending one of our... Gods, man, have you heard nothing we said? We have not time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, then you are welcome to find your own way into Ogomoro. If it pains me to admit it, we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Much that remains to be done. If we are to best Titan, forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I'll use the time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well. Pray do whatever your captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Limsa hangs in the balance. Master Gigeruju's requests can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you on your true task, I would like to verify this won't be a waste of my time. A Nyx has recently been seen prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want large, slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring out with the herring. Slay the Nyx and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. Okay. Boom. Okay. Well, did you deal with the Nyx? Unless you think me overly cautious for testing you in this way, you should know that we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed he had served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyways, now that the pointless busy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge that befits your talents. Level 39. 2 highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gigeruju wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Gigeruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, and so Elheim, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. Naturally, such fine dining must be accompanied with a suitable wine, and by suitable I mean the very best there is. That, however, can wait for the time being, as I believe you have enough on your plate as it is. It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Strand and speak with Londonel in Camp Tranquil. What? Did you mean to tell me you cannot afford to waste time as your associate did? Adventure, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, then how do you expect me to believe that you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. This guy. Okay. It is 11:30 and we've already gained like 7 or 8 levels tonight and did 3 dungeons. I think we're gonna call it here. This is a pretty good stopping point. We got our right up here beside our Aetheryte so we can gather a rested bonus while we're waiting. Tomorrow I think we can probably get to Brayflox's long stop and do that possibly, and then Titan comes after that. And then it'll be a while before the next dungeon, I think. Lots of quests to do. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I really had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did too. I'll see you next time. Bye.